Thank you everyone for coming. I'm Jackie Sumner. I'm president of the Sumner Group. We're located right outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. We're an advertising public relations agency. And my husband started a little program this will be our 37th season, I think, years ago, with a young man that was in school with him called Phil Ford at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. And it was called Barnstorming. And if you've heard that name, I don't know how much you've ever heard that name or you've seen it and thought, what is that? A long time ago, when society wasn't so mobile, people could not come to Duke or Carolina or State and see these great players at these basketball games or other in circuses or anything that was exciting like that. They were out in the fields, in the barns, working. So it became for the teams to come to these towns and let them see these people play, these stars they could only read about, or these events they'd only heard about. So that's the name Barnstorming. So a lot of times people ask me, what does that mean, Barnstorming? It simply means we're taking our ACC All-Stars from State, Carolina, Wake, Duke, out to the people in the community so they can see this event. And what I've loved, what he has done for all these years, is he has usually chosen a local entity, a group that has a mission to help youth or to help someone in the community a better way. In North Carolina, many times we partner with the Ronald McDonald House. So that's part of the history as well. We try to bring something to the community besides just the excitement of these young men coming to play. At one time, normally we're in North Carolina. We've had some games in South Carolina, quite a few in Virginia. At one time, it was the ACC Big Ten All-Stars. So we were in Ohio, Indiana, Illinois. And this year, we're bringing them to Maine. You think, why Maine? It's pretty simple. My youngest of 5, Pat Sumner, decided 4 years ago, actually 5, that he was playing ball in Maine. So this is his senior year, so he got a little bit of twist from me to let's bring it to Maine to celebrate his wonderful time in Maine and to bring these All-Stars up here for his friends and the people he's made friends with and players to get that same feel that we get in North Carolina bringing the All-Stars to the community. So when my husband was looking around for a group that we felt like would be a good partner with us, he came to me and he had found a group that I think everybody here knows much more than we did, and we have been so proud to find this group. Yes, with Mr. Dudley, Coach Dudley Davis. And we really believe in what he brings to this community. He brings young men and women who are looking for an opportunity to do something besides the negative. And he really burns a desire in them, I think, of what I've read and what I've experienced with him the last few months, for them to become perhaps one day playing for the All-Stars. So I'm very, very proud to couple with him, to partner with him, and the YES organization. So we'll tell you more about what's coming in the next few weeks, but right now, Coach Davis will tell you about his end of this little deal.
Thank you, Ms. Sumner. Again, thank you. I am Dudley Davis. Thank you, Mike, for being here, media, and all of the people here in the audience. Again, my name is Dudley Davis. I know it's a busy time for a lot of you folks for being here. Obviously, some of you guys take some time away from work, school, and so forth. Thank you for being here. We are very excited about having the Barnstorming tour here in Maine. This is what a wonderful opportunity for kids in Maine, to have this opportunity to be playing against kids from Duke, North Carolina, Wake Forest, and NC State. If I was a kid, this would be my dream as a basketball player. So I think that a lot of the players that I've talked to are tickled to death for this opportunity and to be able to play. The YES program, about who we are, we've been around for over 20 years. It's our 20th year anniversary. We think that this was a wonderful opportunity to partner with Mike Sumner, who I think we started a relationship about a year ago when we started training, doing some training Pet, his son, over, I think about towards the middle of the summer, a year ago. And he mentioned that, you know, he run the Barnstorming tour, and I said, look, you know, we're coming up on our 20th year anniversary. Why, you know, we'd be a perfect organization to partner with, and because our mission is to work with kids, giving them a good opportunity to stay out of trouble, to give them a positive thing to work towards, as an after-school program, to come in to work on their skills, basketball skills. And we also, and to play, obviously, during the summer in our summer league program, and to also play in our AAU program. The nice thing about also our program is that we also have a media program that we partner with, some media, WPXT is one of the group that we partner with, and our kids learn hands-on learning experience. And one of the things that we're most proud of, again, involving kids in media as well as in sports, is that it give them, they can leverage it when they go to college. And right now, as a little, one of our top media student is, I think she's in second command at CNN, believe it or not. We know we have leveraged a lot of good things in our after-school program that we're proud of. This is the first time, now shifting a little bit to the ACC. This is the first time the ACC All-Stars have played in Maine, and we're just really proud of having them here. I think it will be a really wonderful event. The ACC All-Stars have been around for 37 years, as was mentioned earlier. And some of the alums of this great program has been players like James Worthy, Michael Jordan, Tyler Hansborough, Vince Carter, Johnny Dawkins, Christian Leitner, Nolan Smith, David Thompson. I mean, some of you guys were on old school players, and Phil Ford. I'm much older than I look. I mean, these are the names that jump off the table for me. So I'm so happy to know that this is a wonderful opportunity to be bringing these players that have played in this kind of an event. So this is a really wonderful opportunity, I believe, for people in Maine. And I'm just really pleased to have Coach Brenner, who is going to be the coach of the Maine All-Stars. And I think this is a good opportunity. I'm just going to wrap it up by saying I think this is a good opportunity for planting the seed for kids that might want to play at the Division I level. We have been fortunate out of our program. We have two players that have really played in the ACC out of our program. We have Nick Kane-Medley, who played years ago, played at Maryland, but obviously Maryland is no longer in the ACC. He was one. I know we currently have a girl that we trained, Alexa Kaloum, who's also playing for Boston College in the ACC. So we would like to see more kids like that come out of our program that can play at this level, and we think they can with the right training and support. I think I'm going to close there and invite Mike Sumner up so that he can give us a little bit more insight into
Thanks, Dudley.
Thank you.
I'm going to be pretty quick, only because I know everybody's got a lot of things to do. I've done this a long time, seen a lot of fun things happen. I tell Pitt asked me a lot of time, what's the most unusual thing to happen? It's kind of nice seeing Michael play his first professional game, but in about 1994, University of Illinois was in the final with a kid by the name of Kenny Battle. Does anybody remember Kenny Battle? He was a great ball player. We were playing a game in Illinois near his hometown, and it was about the end of the game, and Kenny went down on these Gorilla rims. Those were the rims prior to the breakaways, and dunked the ball. And with the ball, with the dunk came the backboard. It just crashed. And I remember the funny story I tell is everybody sat there, and the whole crowd was just quiet. And then they burst into applause, and the game was over. And we were supposed to have this dunk contest, and I remember going up to Kenny, who wasn't a man of a lot of words, and I said, "We had the dunk contest." And he looked at me and said, "Why? Do you think we'll have a better one than what you just saw?" I said, "You got a point there." So with you guys that are playing, we got two guys that are playing here. I want you all to take to these guys. They're big and they're strong, but I've seen Maine high school basketball, and I want you to show them what you guys can do. Pett's been up here for 4 years, and he's seen a lot of these games. But these guys are going to be beat. They're not going to take it as serious as you guys are. I'm going to tell you that. So I want your coach to really push them real hard. The game, there's some posters back here on the back. We've got some media kits for anybody. We'll take these back to the schools. You guys take them back to your schools and pass them out. We have 2 sets of tickets. The game will sell out. We've already sold 150 tickets just from the first week online. You can buy them online, or you can get them at USM here or what's the other spot we have them?
Oh, at Deering High School.
At Deering High, we're playing at Deering High School.
The date of the game?
Or if they're available, the day of the game. The tickets.
The date of the game.
The date of the game, I'm sorry, is the 17th of April, Friday night, and the tickets are $15. Now we've got, these are what's sold. We've already sold 25 of these. Are VIP tickets. Get you on the floor, a reception with the players. It's a lot of fun. They're a little more than $50. But there's only 1,100 seats in that gym. It's going to sell out. So if your friends and family want to see them, you need to get online pretty quickly and order them because it'll sell out. And the fire marshal's already told us that we're going to quit selling them at 1,100. So I know how popular things are. That's about what I have. I'd like to thank my son, who's one who told us to come up here to play. And Phil Ford was supposed to be here. Phil had already bought a ticket to come up here, but as you all may know, his coach died. Coach Smith died, and he's with the family. He's very close with Coach Smith, so he sends his regrets, but he will be here for the night. He'll be coaching along with a very important person in our family's life, Coach Dick Meter. Dick is going to come up and say something about coaching the ACC All-Stars. I told him early, they've never lost a game in 37 years. So he doesn't have any pressure on him at all. but I will bring Coach Meter up here. I want to tell you other guys, if you've not decided where you want to play ball next year, I'll tell you there's a lot of good choices in this state, but you won't find a better place than the University of Maine Farmington. My son could have gone almost anywhere, and he had a great, first off, education. The basketball program is wonderful, but just the overall experience is fantastic at UMF. But Coach Meter, if you come up and say a few words about your coaching, what you going to do with these ACC guys?
You mentioned Phil Ford. Phil will take care of that, a lot of that. If we happen to be losing, I'm going to make sure there's space on the end of the bench to just kind of slide away. But I want to thank Dudley and Mike for the opportunity. For 4 wonderful years, had the pleasure of coaching Pat. And what he brought was the enthusiasm that you see on television, the enthusiasm you see in general about basketball in North Carolina and how important it is to people in that area, how important it is to the players. And we got a lot of North Carolina discussions in our locker rooms and whereabouts, in Sam Leal, who also played for us, know that you're either Duke or North Carolina, it appears, down there. But just to mention about Phil Ford, he came up a couple times with Mike Sumner and stopped into practice, and a very humble, gracious person for somebody who has accomplished so much in basketball. 2-time All-American at UNC, NCAA Player of the Year, point guard on the 1976 Olympics, gold medal team, 2nd overall pick in the NBA, NBA Rookie of the Year. Just incredible resume of basketball. But as impressive as that is, more impressive is Phil Ford himself. And I know Pat, Sam would testify to that. He would drop by practice, just stop in, watch, no comments unless you ask type of thing. And our players really took to him and enjoyed him a great deal. So look forward to the opportunity to sit by Phil Ford. And also, I'm not sure if the book is out yet, but he's written a children's book, The Man That Couldn't Dunk. The Boy That Couldn't Dunk, I think it is. And it's something that if you get an opportunity to read it, you should. So it should be a fun evening. A number of the guys that are playing are from the southern part of the state here, and you guys will enjoy very much the opportunity to go against people who have experienced a great deal in basketball, who have played on the so-called big stage, and the opportunity to face them in the game will be a great thrill for each of you. So it will be fun for me. I know my grandchildren are looking forward for it. One is a Duke fan, the other one's a North Carolina fan. So it's like everybody else, I guess. So whether they're going to be moving to North Carolina, I'm not sure, but they would like that. So thank you, Mike, for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Coach. Before we introduce Coach Brenner, I did want to tell you another funny story. Phil and I graduated together, and he always says, Mike and I graduated together. And I said, yeah, Phil, a lot more people knew you. Especially he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated his senior year. He went to the plate, and actually, you asked Phil what bothers him the most about his basketball. It's his senior year. He was playing Marquette for the national championship. Great shooter, wide open baseline jump shot that he's hit probably 100 times in games, and hit the back of the iron, front of the iron, went in and came out. And he says he thinks about it all the time. So you guys that play ball know what he's talking about when you have a shot like that goes. But coaching the main all-star coach, David Brenner. David was a former head coach at Deering High School. He's going to come up and tell everybody how he's going to win, how he's going to beat these guys. Maybe put a full-court press on them. And
I think probably the key to beating them is doing something they're not familiar with. So we're going to put the four-corner offense in and try to keep the score down. But I want to thank Dudley for inviting me. Dudley called me about a month ago and invited me, and I wasn't sure why he invited me. And he said, well, I remember about 25 years ago, I was working a kid out, Dudley was, and I watched and I said, you really ought to get into coaching. And I tried to get him on the staff at Deering, and I guess he's got a good memory, so he called me back and said, how'd you like to coach this team? I said, I'd love to coach this team. So I'm looking forward to it. I've got great history with Coach Meter, and we've known each other for many years. It should be a fun night. We'll try to be competitive and keep it close. We'll practice once or twice and go from there. So thank you, Dudley. I'd like to introduce Nick Gadar. Now, Nick is going to be assisting me. I currently coach the freshman team at South Portland, and Nick's an assistant varsity coach there. And one of our players is here, Jaron Muller, who was a varsity player this year. But Nick's got some interesting history because he also came up playing basketball in the Yes League under Dudley. So I just wanted to call Nick up and have him speak briefly about his experience in the Yes program.
Well, I think everyone's touched on this already. This is an awesome experience. I'm pretty excited. I'm a North Carolina fan myself. I have been my whole life. So, and as a little kid, all I wanted to do was be Michael Jordan, go to the Tar Heels. So it's gonna be a great experience to go along with that, as well as see what Maine has to offer. As a coach, it's only been a coach for 3 years. It's been great to see a lot of talented players, especially in the southern Maine area, but I'm excited to see what else the state has to offer as well. I met Dudley when I was about 11 years old. I was in 6th grade, and my family didn't really know much about basketball, but I'd heard of this program where you could play during the summer, and I wanted to play in a season other than the school year, so I signed up, and I was just a tall, uncoordinated kid at the time, and through the Yes program, played there all through middle school. I really learned how to play the game of basketball, and that's where I grew my passion for the game. And a lot of the relationships and friendships that I made playing in Yes, I still have today. There's people in this room right now that I remember meeting when I was 11, 12 years old. So I think this is a tremendous opportunity. I was honored when Coach Brenner and Dudley Coach Davis asked me to coach this game. So I'm excited, and I hope you guys all are as well.
Very good. Well, we're all excited. Now it's time to play ball.